Hello, and welcome to the coronavirus update video number 57.0. I may look a little bit different because I've actually forgotten a bit of my tripod that normally I connect to my phone. And yeah, it's going to be like this because you're on a shelf, but the shelf is actually not, it's too high, so yeah, we'll see how we go with this. Maybe I can stand on something. I don't know. It's all been last minute. It's been absolutely chaotic this week. Thank you for everyone who is joining in right now. If you can see me, fantastic. If the comments is covering my face, you can actually swipe the comments to the side and then you'll just be able to see me. But of course, if you want to comment everything, then you can do that. But yeah. It's been a crazy week. I have actually missed you guys so much. I'm going to have to hold my phone because the comments is... Yeah, there we go. That's going to be a bit better. Okay, so yes, welcome everyone who is new to this channel. My name is Adrian Cockings and I basically translate all the latest news for the coronavirus situation here in Spain. And we put it out in a weekly, twice bi-weekly news show every Monday and Friday, at 4 p.m. every single day. It's just a 20-minute show where I basically update you on everything that you need to know about the coronavirus, the state of emergency, and anything related to Spain in this weird times. So let's just go for it. I can guarantee that my arm is going to be getting very, very tired during this, but we'll have to do it like this. All right. So today's date is the 4th of June, the 5th of June. 5th of June, wow. It is Friday the 5th of June, and let's just jump into it. So for everyone who is watching right now, if you can click that share button and let's get this out to as many people as possible. Today we're going to be covering Phase 3 and what you can and can't do in Phase 3. And of course we'll be debunking a lot of news as well because there has been a lot of news, especially in British media, that I of course want to talk about today as well. And we'll do some Quickie news too because there's a lot of news that a lot of people don't really understand yet, so I just wanted to clear up a couple of things as well. Okay, so we'll start off with some fake news. Now, in the British media today, there has been a lot of news about Benidorm specifically, and Benidorm, of course, not opening up for tourism this year. Benidorm not opening up beaches. Benidorm not opening up bars. Benidorm has actually been the main attraction for the local for the UK media, and of course, I understand why because it's a lot of tourism there for Benidorm. Coming from the UK and with the beaches and everything, yeah, I can see why. Now, these are actually not true. So the bars and discos and clubs not opening up, that is actually not true. But I'll get into that when, of course, we reach for Phase 3. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on. So no, that is actually not true at all. And when it comes to the beaches, this was a main thing that a lot of people were talking about. The beaches are not going to be opening up, or when they do open up, they're going to be closed midday. And there was no real reason for it. Well, in actual fact, diving into this a little bit deeper, when the beaches open up for Benidorm, which we knew that it was going to be probably not until the 18th of June, if I believe that is correct from last week's show. Benidorm, yeah, the 15th of June, sorry. So we knew that the beaches in Benidorm weren't going to be opening up until the 15th of June, but the whole cleaning thing and, sorry, the whole closing during midday, this is actually through cleaning, and it's stated from the government or the mayor of Benidorm that they are planning, again this is not official yet, but they are planning to be cleaning and doing cleaning sessions obviously early in the morning, midday, and then in the evening as well. Now this cleaning, we don't actually know what is going to be involved with this, whether it's going to be just turning around the sand or picking up any litter such as masks, gloves, or anything like this. So we don't actually know, and there will be news to come on this, but this is, of course, if. This is a big if. This is all in discussion at the moment. So, yeah, very, very strange. As for bars and clubs, yeah, they will be opening up because what we can see in Phase 3 and the islands that are already in Phase 3, bars and discos and clubs, they have actually started opening up already. So, yeah, I can't see why this wouldn't be happening anyway. All right, next thing, and this is something I haven't done before, but I thought we'd just quickly update you on some of the rules in Quickie News. And this is going to be a segment called Quickie News, which I'm going to try and do on most of the sessions, okay? So, quickie news. La Liga Santander, so any football fans out there, and you're following Spanish football especially, the Spanish League of Santander will be returning on June the 11th. And of course, these will be matches. I'm pretty sure that these are going to be matches that are going to be in enclosed spaces, probably not with an audience, but they will be televised broadcast. So that is from June the 11th. Also, notary offices are now going to be opening up, and they should have been opening up or starting to open up in phase 2. But of course, in phase 3, these will now be fully functioning and getting back to a normal. So the notary offices, for anyone who is looking for residencias, then yes, they will be opening up and you can start booking appointments now. The best advice would definitely be to go through someone in the legal platform, such as a solicitor or a lawyer, and they will be able to get your appointments booked in for you. Next, traffic offices are also open. So if you're in for transferring car details or anything like this, yes, the traffic offices are now opening up, which is great news. ITV garages are also opening up. So for the Spanish MOT on your car, the ITV garages are now starting to open up. So anyone who has had an expired ITV car during lockdown, you can now get your appointments. You can book online. I will actually be doing a video on this next week because it's my dad's car needs to get ITV'd. My wife booked us in this afternoon, and what I'm going to be doing is putting a video together of how easy it was. We booked online. We're going to go next week on Tuesday, I believe it is. I'm going to try and get some footage, of course, ask for permission, and just show you exactly what goes through with the ITV garages. Right, the next thing, a lot of bars and cafes are being shut down, and a lot of people are asking, well, why? This is down to the lack of control between clients and or people going to have a drink. The tables and chairs, of course, not being spread out far enough, people standing up in the bars. And yes, if the police do catch this, they will be stopping and closing down these bars. Now, the majority of these stories that are coming out is actually in Madrid, the major cities that are only in phase 1 at the moment. But of course, there has been some other stories down on the coastline as well with the Valencia community and other areas like this. All right, the next thing, 15th of June, you can now apply for the National Minimum Benefit System. This was actually put forward by the Vice President. This has now been approved, and they are starting to put the process in. And it's from the 5th of June, you'll be able to apply for these National Minimum Benefits. Also, I'm going to be trying to get some of this information out, maybe doing a screenshot or screen capture video to show you the exact website to go to, how to apply for it. Maybe I can get my wife to kind of help me with this because I know she'll with this bureaucracy because it can get very, very complicated there. The next thing, state of alarm. So yes, as you may know, this was during the week. The state of alarm has been officially extended until the 21st of June. Of course, we knew this was going to be happening. I even announced it on the Monday show, but this is now being officially approved by Congress. And yes, the state of alarm is now going on until the 21st of June, 100%. Now, some EU countries have said they will be opening up borders from the 15th of June. And this is, of course, where a lot of discussion is going into place with regards to opening up the borders. Now, we're going to move from Quickie News and we're going to go on to something else. I have to change arms. Oh, it's hard carrying this phone. Some EU countries, they've stated that they're going to be opening up their borders to other countries in the European Union from the 15th of June. However, Spain and President Sanchez has stated that they are not entirely ready for the 15th of June, and it most likely will not happen on the 21st of June either. Now, there has been a lot of posts, of course, going around about Portugal and France opening up between Spain and their borders. And then this was completely, literally an hour later, this was then turned over and actually said, no, this will be from the 1st of July. So this is how complex this situation can be. And a government official can state something and then it can be turned around an hour later. So it's an ever-changing situation. So as it stands at the moment, the majority of the majority of the EU countries will most likely be opening up the borders at the end of June. We don't know exactly the dates or anything like this, but there has been some confirmations already for some European countries stating that they're going to be opening up from the 15th of June and others stating from the 21st of June. However, Spain is not one of these countries stating that they're going to be opening up from the 21st of June. They are still not 100% sure when this is actually going to be put into place. And other countries, other European countries, other European countries, they are waiting to see what the other numbers are going to be like for other countries out of the European Union, such as the United Kingdom, such as America, Australia, and eastern parts of the world, western parts of the world. They're waiting to see what the numbers are going to be like to even start considering whether they're going to be opening up flights or ferries between these countries and allowing the borders to be opened from this. So again, you have to be very, very cautious with the news that comes out of borders opening up, because we never actually know, unless it is officially announced, when these borders are going to be opening up. So it can be very, very confusing. Right, the next thing was self-quarantining. Now, a lot of people are still asking, well, with regards to people coming over to Spain, still in place at the moment, the only people who can come into Spain are residents, citizens, or if it is a highly emergency reason. That sounded terrible. But if you have if you have a reasonable excuse and it is an emergency, then yes, you will be permitted to come in, but you have to have some sort of permission to be able to come in, as in, not permission, documentation to say either a loved one is taken ill and you have to get back to a certain country to be able to see them. And this, of course, would have to be a medical document from a hospital or a doctor. And yes, when you do come into this country, you still have to self-quarantine for 14 days. Now, yes, there are still going to be some workers, for example, essential workers, who will not have to self-quarantine. So, for example, lorry drivers or truck drivers, medical staff, these are the people who will not have to self-quarantine when coming into the country. Everyone else, yes. Now, flying to Spain, we've talked about that already. Well, the borders, basically. So still, a lot of people are asking about flights. Now, as I touched on earlier, the flights coming into Spain, or the borders of Spain, we do not know when they're going to be opening up. There are still speculations of a lot of people saying that the 15th, the 21st, or the 1st of July. We still don't know any actual official information yet. Now, I know there's a lot of people, for example, following the N332. They are a fantastic page, and I definitely recommend, if you don't follow me, go and follow them, because they will also keep you updated as well. But I think they have also been inundated with so many questions about when the borders are going to be opening up, and we don't have the official information. So as it stands, and this is what President Sanchez has said, it still remains that they're planning on the July the 1st, but this has not been put out to any decree or royal decree or put through to Congress. So this could actually change. And the way everything's going with the state of the alarm at the moment, this could change with a 2 or 3 day prior to the 1st of July. So it's an ever-changing situation. It really is. Now, with regards to ferries as well, a lot of people are asking about ferries. It's the same situation. If the borders are still closed, ferries will still not be allowed to come in. So if people have booked for flights or ferries, we are still not going to have any information whether they're allowed to board, to dock, to fly, to take off, or to set sail, because we do not have any information of when the borders are going to be opening up. Okay, let's move on to the phases. Woo! Okay, so a lot of people have been asking about what phase they're going to be going into. Today, the Spanish Moncloa and the health pages, or the official health pages, they put out a nice infographic map of the phases of the country and what phase they are going to be going into on the 8th of June, which is Monday, the 8th of June. Now, half of the country, there we go. Just half of the country will be going into phase 3 on Monday, the 8th of June. Now, and the biggest news that is actually coming out of the phases and what you'll be able to do is, will you be able to travel from one province to another? That is the question that everyone is asking at the moment. And I think it's still a very complex situation. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but what the government are saying at the moment, the biggest news is the mobility between different phases. They have not announced yet whether different regions or different provinces will be allowed to travel between other provinces around Spain. So, for example, I'm in the Murcia region, and let's say Granada is the Andalusia province. They have stated that I will not be able to travel from Murcia to Granada or Almeria. However, it was actually put out in the news today that community provinces, now this is going to be even more complex right now, community provinces, you will be able to travel between those provinces when it's in a community. Now, what does this mean? So, for example, Andalusia is one big province put up into separate regions, which are classed as provinces as well. And Andalusia, the provinces that come under Andalusia, the community or Comunidad de Andalucía, is Almería, Córdoba, Granada, Cádiz, Huelva, Málaga, Jaén, and Sevilla. All of these come under the Andalusia province, which means from June the 8th, you will be able to travel between these provinces because it comes under the Andalusia community. So, for example, people living in Almería, you will be able to travel to Granada. And people living in Córdoba, you'll be able to travel to Málaga. Again, this hasn't been officially confirmed, but it was put out into the news today. And why would this be put out if this wasn't going to be an official document? It's just so confusing. So what we're trying to do at the moment, we're trying to find out, okay, well, if we're in phase 3, can another province in phase 3 go to another province? Most likely it's not going to be yes, but the community, if you're in an Andalusia community, yes, you will be able to travel between the provinces in that community. Complicated, I know, but we're trying to get there. Now, so at the moment, for example, the Valencia community, now we've talked about this before, the Valencia community is Valencia, Alicante, and there's one more in there as well. These provinces are still staying in phase 2. However, when they go into phase 3, most likely in that community, you'll be able to travel between those 3 provinces there. It just gets very, very complicated, and it's hard to keep track of all of this. All right, we're going to move on to phase 3. Now, a lot of people have been asking, what can you do in phase 3? What is going to be different from phase 2 to phase 3? So, at the moment, in phase 3, this is what has been put out in official documents. But again, this could change over the weekend. Most likely, a lot of the government official announcement happen over the weekend, and it changes some of the rules. So we'll just have to wait and see. But for phase 3, terraces or cafes with terraces can now open up at 75% outside, which is good news. So a 75% capacity outside, then that means that the tables will be slightly closer together. If you've got, say, 100-person capacity on your terrace, you'll now be able to accommodate to 75 people. Bars can reopen up, and when I say bars, I mean bars, nightclubs, discos. They can now start opening up with safe distancing measures in place, such as you should be keeping a 2-meter distance between the people who are going to be inside. Social gatherings can now be up to 20 people. So 20 people around your house, 20 people in a bar, 20 people gathering socially in a place. Shopping centres can now start opening up at 50% capacity, with communal areas being at 40% capacity. Street markets are now at 50% capacity of the stalls. They won't be necessarily controlling the amount of people going into the street markets, but the stalls will be at 50% as well. Weddings, for anyone who is looking to get married, I know a couple of my friends, unfortunately, they've had to cancel their weddings this summer, but weddings, there can now be 150 people outside attending the wedding. If you have an outside ceremony, an outside party afterwards, reception afterwards, and if it's inside, it is 75 people. Museums and cultural events can now start opening up at 75% capacity. Masks are still an obligation. I'll still get this question, I guarantee this. So masks are still an obligation when in public areas where 2 meters cannot be maintained, okay? So if you're in the public and you're walking and you do not have any worries because there's a lot of open space, you do not have to necessarily wear your mask. However, take one just in case. I always recommend this, just in case. Masks, if you cannot keep a 2-meter distance, then yes, you have to wear a mask. It is mandatory. Concerts can now have up to 800 people as long as they are all seated. Bars and nightclubs can open up at 75% capacity. This is the most crucial part here. For phase 3 and beyond phase 3, it looks like it's now going to be for the regional president or the regional mayor to be able to control how long this phase is going to be lasting for and other changes that could be implemented into this phase. So, for example, in the Murcia region, the standard rules are going to be added in now. However, the Murcia region president could actually change some of these rules. So, for example, he could actually add in that this is not going to be a 2-week system. This could be a 4-week system, or it could actually be less. We don't know, but it's now going to be down to the regional manager or the province manager, the province president, to be able to put these rules into place and how long he would want these rules to be enforced. So this is going to get even more confusing over the next couple of weeks, because what we can now see is the president of each region is now going to have to start initializing the rules and deciding what is going to be happening in each of the regions. That's going to make my job a lot more complicated, but we'll see how we go there. Gyms can also start opening, gyms have been opened up from phase 2 with 30% capacity, and gyms, I believe, it never actually said what was going to be put in for how many or capacity. Let me just quickly look. Deporte, entrenamiento. No, it doesn't actually say what is going to be the percentage. Most likely what I've been seeing, the 30% have been going up to the 50%. So for gyms, Pamela, I see you asking there, I can imagine that this is most likely going to be up to a 50% capacity with the gyms. And of course, with safety measures put into place when you finish a machine or something like this will have to be then cleaned. So it's going to be very, very hard for a lot of people there. And that, I believe, is going to be it. It's been a very, very strange week with all the news coming out, and of course, the news coming out that the borders are going to be opening and then changing that an hour later. It's going to be an ever-changing story, and it's going to be more and more complicated as we get to the regional areas. So we just have to wait and see what's going to be happening now. Okay, now. I was pondering over this all day, and I got onto my laptop and I was trying to think of how I was going to be finishing this video. Now, I thought long and hard how I wanted to finish this video, because a lot of people have been messaging me about the incidents that have been going on around the world, but more specifically in the United States, in the UK, with protests. And a lot of people have been sending me images, photos, articles. Now, I go through thousands of pages of official government documents, through news articles, bulletins, stories. I go through hundreds and almost thousands of pages during the week to make sure I get the information that is correct. But of course, during all of this time, I'm of course seeing a lot of the news that comes out, watching the ever-changing stories that happen not just in Spain, but of course around the world. And it's tough. It's getting harder and harder to swallow all of this media that keeps coming out. And it is getting very, very hard, especially when watching the news. And in Spain especially, they do not censor the news. If there is police brutality, they will show it on TV. And it's getting even harder to see this, because I'm a human being, and seeing this right in front of me, seeing this is just absolutely horrible. Now, I'm not going to be going into the George Floyd situation. I'm not going to be going into the protest situation. But what I want to say is that we are in a recovering state right now. The whole world is in a recovering state right now. Financially, naturally, the whole world is just, it's starting to recover. And we're only at the beginning of this. Now, we as humans, as human beings on this planet, we've only got a select time to be on this planet. And it's just hard to believe the amount of hate that is still out there. But there is a huge amount of love. And I can see it in this group especially. You guys always make me feel so much better. Whenever I'm having a hard day, or it's just the pressure is getting a lot harder, that you guys are always there to just lend an extra comment, just to say well done. And that for me is unbelievable. But, you know, we need to rise above the hate, obviously. You know, there is so much hate that is out there, and we need to rise above this hate, and we need to help each other. And I'm going to be trying to do as much as possible over the upcoming weeks, months. I've got plans for this page, and the plan is to do good, and that's all I want to do. And I want to make sure that Lily, my daughter, knows exactly what we've done during this lockdown, and she knows that I was there to help, and I've tried to help as many people as possible. So I just want to say thank you, you guys. One, because you guys have been, for me, a huge stress relief. This page has also caused a lot of stress, but you guys personally commenting every single day, you guys bring me so much joy, so much love, and I can't thank you enough for that. I really can't. So I just want to say, be kind to everyone. I know there can be so much hate out there, but the love will always, always triumph over hate. So as long as we keep showing the amount of love that you guys keep sharing every single time that I go live, I know that we can come over anything, absolutely anything, all right? Now, that is going to be it for today. I'm sorry I got a bit emotional at the end. It's just, it's been a very, very hard week getting back to a new normality, let's say, with work. But seriously, you guys are absolutely awesome. You really, really are. Now, for everyone who has ordered a t-shirt, they've been ordered as of yesterday. I was waiting for a full list to come through, like a quantity to come through. We've now put the order in, and they should be from 5 to 7 days, and they will be with you. So next week, for everyone who has ordered a t-shirt, proceeds will be going to charity, and you guys will be receiving your t-shirts hopefully within the next 7 days. Thank you again for everyone who's bought a t-shirt. There have been problems with the shop, the online store. I'm still trying to sort it out. I might have to go to a new platform, and if I do, I'll definitely let you guys know, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hashtag be kind. I love that. Really, really good. And I'll see you on Monday at 4 p.m. Or if there's any updates during the weekend, I'll make sure I post a short little 3-4 minute video to keep you guys updated, okay? Thank you for sharing the love. Be kind, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.